Just like the 12 different sound of the T we learned in the previous video, we created by joining the consonant letter T, that is ta in Hindi, right? And then we join another consonant letter ta and ta with the 12 different vowel sounds, and then we produce the 12 different consonant related their sound. Right now we're going to combine the D with the 12 vowel sounds, and let's see how the result gets. All right, so when da, D sound first. D sound, there are two types of the D sound in Hindi. One is d, another is da. Later you learn like this, da. All right, both are written like D. This is only found in Hindi, not in English. All right, so we'll discuss this later. Pure D sound of Hindi I'm talking, right? Da. All right, da. Now d plus a, da. All right, it's da, complete da. D-A, da. Now d plus a, da. All right, da, da, da. So if you want to write doctor, then it will be da, da, k, k. So half k, and then da, and the ra, doctor. All right, it's doctor, doctor in Hindi, and in English if you go, then it's called doctor. All right, so doctor in Hindi, after a lot of transformation, it is called doctor. Doctor when you want to write da, k, ta, ra, doctor. Right, so later I'm gonna show you how we can connect these letters we are creating, the sound we are learning. We're learning a lot of different sounds, so later we're gonna use them to create the words. And once we learn to create words, we're gonna learn to create the sentences and then grammar and all stuff. So da plus e, d, da, d. All right, it's d-i, d. Now d plus e, it's a linear one, so d, d, d. All right, and then d plus u, do. All right, da and do, it's a shorter one, do. All right, do, d, u, do. And then d plus u, do. All right, do. Okay, so do. Okay, and the next one is d plus a, day. Okay, da, day, d-e, day, like Dale Carnegie. Like if you want to write Dell, then de law. All right, so it's da, de, and then law, del. All right, you write like this, del, but simply means if you want to write del in Hindi, then you need to write like this. I'll tell you later why double L is there, and many things are there you need to keep in mind, but these are the basic things first you need to understand. So again, da plus a, day. All right, so da, de, day. Okay, d-a-i, day. And d plus o, do. Right, I was first writing in English. Okay, da, da, do. Okay, so it's do, do. Very cool. Now d plus o, do. Right, da, da, do, do. Okay, d-a-u, do. Now d plus un, done. All right, done, 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 d-a-n. Don't produce this like Dan. Don't sound like Dan. Okay, or done. It's done, done. And then d plus da, da. Right, da, 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 da. It's not da, right? It's da, da, d-a-s, da, da, da. Okay, this like when you want to write donkey. Okay, donkey, like in English you say d-u-n-s, donkey, d-u-n-k-e-y. Oh my god, it's a bad English of mine. Okay, donkey, so it's donkey, something like this, in Hindi when it goes to Hindi. And now in Devanagari script, da, dung, ki, ka, ka, ki. All right, so you can make like this. If you follow this ki, then it is from this side, but when you pronounce donkey, ki is linear one, so ki, and the key is linear one, so it will be from this side. Donkey, tanky means tank, tanky, just like in the previous one, donkey, tank. The tank we say ta, tung, ka, ka, ki, donkey, donkey, T-A-N-K-I, donkey. K-I, donkey. Like this we pronounce. Tank becomes donkey in Hindi. Alright. Okay. So now let's pronounce them. Do, da, di, di, do, de, they, do, dun, da. Individually. Do, da, di, do, de, they, do, dun, da. Right? Da, da, di, do, de, they, do, dun, da. By pairing da, di, do, de, they, do, dun, da. Okay.